Hello, welcome back. So I am LogPile. You should consider subscribing. Today we're going to talk about the Vaxee XE V2, the latest release from Vaxee. It's a really, really special mouse. I'm going to tell you what I like about it, and there's quite a lot to talk about there. Then we're going to talk you through some technical specifications, and then we'll go into some gameplay. So my review style will be different to a lot of people on YouTube. It won't be quite so technical, but hopefully I can share my experience with you and you can still take something useful away from it to inform your own purchasing decisions. All right, let's get into it. So we're going to start with the creme de la creme of mouse clicks. And if you're not familiar with the Vaxee button implementation, then you're about to become very familiar. So the clicks on the Vaxee mice are absolutely divine. I don't have any other words for it. They're super, super snappy, very responsive. I think these are the best implementation of any click on any mouse ever. They are so, so nice. So Vaxee have said on their website that they've made the click structure better to prevent sort of double clicking and slamming, and so you don't get those slam clicks when you bang the mouse down, it shouldn't click. That's been totally my experience, but they're just, the way they feel just feels great. And you might be wondering why I'm emphasizing the click feel so much. It's just because it's just satisfying to use. And when a button feels nice to use, it makes you want to use the mouse. So the next thing I want to talk about is this scroll wheel. It's not super smooth, and it's not also super defined. So you can certainly feel those steps. You won't be missing a step if you don't want to, but it's not like overly descriptive or defined as you might find in some other mice, which is a nice sort of balance in the scroll wheel. And then you get a really nice spammable mouse 3 actuation, which is always my preference. I like to be able to spam that in case I'm using it as my ping in game, which I typically do. And then the final point is the mouse side buttons, mouse 4 and 5. These are just great. I've got no complaints at all. 10 out of 10 button implementation from Vaxee. GG's, well played. So I want to talk you through some of the shape features now. And basically I'll start by saying this is a surprisingly ergonomic mouse shape. Although it's a symmetrical mouse, so it's the same shape on both sides, it fits really comfortably inside your hand due to some really clever design decisions. So if you've not used one of these before, if you're not familiar with the XE shape, then stick around, I'll explain it to you. If you are familiar, then just skip this bit and roll on to the next section. So what you've got here, I think, is a really safe shape. And by safe, I mean it's probably going to work for most people that try it. It's not too niche, it's not too specialist. It kind of does everything that you would want a mouse to do really well. So in that sense, I think they've done really well in making a mouse that will work for most people. And what I mean by that, like the evidence to back that up, is right here. So they've given us a hump sort of towards the back third of the mouse. It kind of sits here, 2/3 along, and it sort of slowly, gradually sort of tapers off towards the base. That's really useful if you want to plant your palm on the back, but also it's not too imposing, it's not too high, it's not too low. It's quite a versatile mouse profile that you have here, okay? So another thing that makes it nice and safe is that the sides are nice and flat. So they're not, I say flat, I mean straight. They're not too curvy. They're not like a G-Wolves mouse, which is super fun to use, but it was also quite niche and polarizing. So this mouse is very straight, and you get a slight inwards sort of curve on the sides towards those hips. Nothing too noticeable in your actual hands, but you get a slight inwards curve, a nice taper on the sides too to help your fingers lock in. And then when it gets to the hips, it flares out aggressively, and that's the same on both sides. So again, quite safe. One of the secret sauce of this shape though, is the synergy between that back hip and the back hump. So it's really difficult to actually show you this on the camera, but I'll put the mouse on the desk and I'll try my best. All right, so hopefully you can see it in the shadows of the light there. But what we've got is quite an aggressive flare out on the hips, and the hump kind of comes in around the top of those hips. So what this has the impact of doing is it makes this hump sit nice and neatly in the palm, in the inner palm pocket. Instead, what you get is you get contact in these extremities, so these fleshy parts of your thumb and your pinky, with the actual hips themselves. And the way this is kind of designed to be to be used and to played with is for those areas to be the bits where you grip it, and it works really, really well. So where I grip the mouse, I'll explain how I grip it now and why it's so comfortable. If I can completely relax my grip when I hold this mouse, I hardly have to apply any pressure because the coating is so effective and the mouse is so light at 59 grams, but I hardly apply any pressure. I've got a little bit of contact here and here, just right in those fleshy parts. I've got contact on these two fingertips, and if I choose to, I have contact here with this knuckle and my whole finger running along that button bumper. That's typically how I would grip this mouse. And it just seems to stick to these parts of my hands. It's super, super comfortable. If I want to be a little bit more aggressive with it, if I get a bit more tense, which I typically do, I'm a pretty tense boy, let's be honest. I tend to sort of like put more weight down on the top of the mouse, and I really wrap these fingers around this left-hand side. My thumb wraps into that hip nice and comfortably, and I can sort of use these muscles in my hand to manipulate the mouse within my grip, and to just lock it into place, and it works really well. And the effect that this has on my aim style with this mouse is that I get a lot of stability. So my whole hand basically feels like it's in contact with that mouse when I apply that pressure to it. The mouse is not too heavy, so it's 59 grams, which some of you might say that that's too heavy. Fine, don't buy it. But for those of us that don't mind a little bit of extra weight, you know, 59 grams feels very nicely balanced, not too heavy, not too light. And what that weight gives you is, if you're willing to try it, it's just a bit of extra stability when compared to those ultra lightweight options on the market. It's a nice balance, in my opinion. Another thing that you get with this mouse and this shape is just a nice wide base. So a lot of stability, quite a long frame by comparison to some of the other things I've been using recently. So you get lots of stability in the aim with this mouse. And I feel like that is its strength. That's its main benefit for the shape, is that your hand is just completely locked in. It's super comfortable. Very nice for me personally in those tracking scenarios, and again I'll hopefully show you some of those examples in game shortly. So by now you can probably tell I'm a big fan of the shape. It's grown on me a lot actually. The more I use it, the better I like it, which is always a good thing. Sometimes you grab a new mouse and you love it initially and then you hate it within 2 weeks. And this one just seems to keep growing and growing. It seems to be a grower, not a shower in that sense. So great job, Vaxee, on the shape of this mouse. You've done a great job crafting it, and it's not an accident. I can tell that definitely by the way that it's been done. So I want to talk now about some of the specs. I'm just going to rattle through these really quick. I'm going to see if I can do it in one breath because I don't want to emphasize this within my reviews. So the mouse is 59 grams. I've touched on that already. It is plug and play. I'll show you those options shortly, and we'll go into the web browser or the web driver in a moment. It's got 4K polling. You can go 2K, 1K, 500 Hertz or 4K. So you've got options there. It's a 3950 sensor, and you can choose between 400, 800, 1600 and 3200 DPI. All right, there we are, very good. And the battery life is pretty good too. So if you have your competitive mode on, you'll get less battery. If you have it off, you'll get much, much more. It's very fast charging too, and I haven't had any issues using this mouse for work and for play over extended periods of time. Just occasionally chuck it on charge, and then it just bumps it right back up to the top again if you're sort of anxious about it running out during play sessions. The final thing to cover off before we go into sort of the plug and play nature of the mouse, I want to show you very briefly the buttons on the bottom and then the web browser, is the price. So in the US, the mouse is currently going for $139.99 US, which is quite a reasonable price, I think. Quite nice price for the US folk. And then unfortunately, when you come to Europe, we're paying $159.99 for it. So we're paying a much more higher premium than our US counterparts, which always feels bad. But I genuinely feel that the mouse is worth the price. It just feels bad when someone else is paying less for it. So hopefully we can work that out over time. You do get a 2-year warranty with that price tag, with that premium price tag. So you're going to be looked after by Vaxee if anything ever goes wrong with it, and it's built like a brick, so it shouldn't go wrong. But if it does, then you're covered by a 2-year warranty. So with the latest Vaxee mice, and this is not just unique to the XE V2, but I'm going to showcase it with the XE V2, you've got either buttons and a series of LEDs across the top, which you can use to change your mouse settings. So if you're in a rush and you just want to change between a DPI or something, or your polling rate, then you just learn the button combination, click it, and it's done. You don't have to upload it, you know, open any browsers or anything like that. It's really useful, it's super, super convenient, but a little bit unintuitive. So what they've decided to do is to introduce this new browser functionality. And here on the website, you've got a web driver option on the right-hand side. I'm just on the Vaxee EU website here. So if I go to web driver as a tab, what you're met with is the status screen. And this screen is like a dashboard of your mouse. It will tell you what you've set your mouse to, basically. And what that means is you can't actually change the settings on this page. You have to click on the subsequent pages to then change your settings. So you can see you've got 500, 1000, 2000, 4000 polling rate, your DPI settings, your click latency. On this screen, you've got your different modes for like standard operation, competitive mode, and your lift off distance, etc. And then on the final screen, you can change your key mapping. So if you want your left click to be, I don't know, copy as an example, I don't know why you would, but you can set that just by clicking on the button here and change it to copy. So it's super useful feature. I'm just going to save this as a favorite now on my screen, on my desktop. And whenever I want to change my settings, I'm going to do it in this format because it's way easier than doing it with the buttons underneath. Super nice feature, super nice web driver. Really, really well done. Again, Vaxee. All right, I think I've waffled on now enough about the mouse. It's quite clear that I like it. We're going to roll into some gameplay now. I'm going to jump into some Splitgate 2. Bit of split ball. Grab the split balls, bring them to your base and defend them from the enemies. Okay, I've not played this one before. So initially starting this match with my fingers quite relaxed on the side, so I'm not completely hugging the side of the mouse. There's a bit of an air gap in there. I don't know if you can see it. And what I typically find by the end of the match is that my fingers just like snug, completely snug like this. So I like to start it with my fingers more relaxed. We'll see how it turns out towards the end. Let's hope this is a good game and my teammates don't let me down, or vice versa, I don't let those down. Alright, first kill, we'll take that. Oh, that was satisfying. Reload. Get out. Get off. Get off me! That's what they say, isn't it? I missed.
Enemy team has 2 points. Teammate just picked up a ball. We're on the board.
Felt like I had him then. It's alright. I think I weakened them for my team. There we are, that was nice. I'll take that. We win those. Boom. See, that felt quite nice. Where are we going? See, that felt quite nice. Nice tracking. There we are. We'll take that. We'll take those. Where are they? Leave us alone. Yeah, there we are. Not doing too badly. So 26 kills. I'm not sure I've done too much capturing. Not a single one. But I'm having fun, so that's fine. Alrighty. Hopefully this will be 3 of 3. And then we can round out. Tracking feels really nice. I'm enjoying the tracking. Where's this guy gone? There you go, buddy.
They just got a flip off.
Double kill. That's the point.
They're on the board. Let's get another.
Get out, mate.
New power weapon in the arena.
Enemy just stole a ball from your base.
Avenger.
Where are they going?
They just got a flip off.
Heating up. Guardian Angel.
Teammate just picked up a ball.
New ball active. That's the point.
We're on the board. Let's get another.
Double kill.
Alright, we're fragging out.
Teammate just picked up a ball.
On fire. Double kill.
Oh, we're at 2 points.
Oh, no. Whew. That was intense. Very fun. Oh, God. Get out, man.
Double kill.
What are you doing over there?
Payback.
Enemy just stole a ball from your base.
New split ball in play now. Avenger.
Teammate
What
just picked up a
flipping
ball.
tits do I do with this?
Double kill.
You're at 2. Let's get another.
I got it.
Win.
Hey, I think I helped.
Those
I helped.
and smart
That was fun. Alright, let's see how we did. Yeah, okay, that was really fun. I really enjoyed that. I feel like the mouse helped, you know, it's not too heavy, it's not too light, it's kind of in betweeny. Not too reactive, but reactive enough. Bit of stability. Definitely helped by the Jupiter Pro pad I've got here. I really like this mouse. Hopefully that comes across and hopefully you can now make that decision for yourself as to whether you think it's worth it for you too. All right, that's it. I'm gonna go and chill out now. Peace out.